Hey, what's up everyone? Today I'm going to show you this interesting build that I created, and it involves some of the stuff that has been updated, such as in the recent patch 1.09, great axes actually have improved quite a lot, considering that they actually improved the attribute scaling, and not only that, they have also increased the speed, range, and recovery time with these attacks, which is pretty interesting. If you have watched my previous build videos, then you know that I do an in-depth guide on how to find these items, we talk about it, and then I just show the damage. And so with that being said, let's dive right in and talk about what weapons you need in order to get this build started. The first Lost Grace that we want to travel over towards is going to be the lake facing cliffs. From this exact Lost Grace, if you head towards the southwest, you will see that there's going to be two grave sites. There's one on the bottom right, and then there's one at the top right. Skip the one on the bottom and then go to the top. Although if you've never explored the bottom right, then you might want to, because there's actually a scroll that you can pick up and you can take that over towards the round table. Information to the side there. We are now at the spot where we need to take out this skeleton right here. If you are lucky enough, this skeleton will drop the Executioner's Great Axe. If this is not the case, what you will need to do is simply pause the game, fast travel back towards the Lost Grace, and then just make your way back over here. And remember, the higher the discovery, the better it is in the end, because this will help out when you need these items to drop. For example, right here in this clip, you're going to see that this fella right here did indeed drop the Executioner's Great Axe. We need to do this one more time so that we can dual wield these, because it's absolutely worth it and it does a lot of damage. You can find it right over here again at Lake Facing Cliffs, and I'm just going to continuously teabag because hey, I'm excited that I was able to receive this. Continuing on towards the second location, we are now going to talk about Ashes of War. If we head over here towards Stormhill Shack, then go towards the north, you should see some enemies in the distance. Go past them and then take a left. Now at this point, you should be heading towards the west. You should see this scarab in the distance. Go ahead, take it out, and then once you've done so, crack it open like an egg and receive a surprise, which is going to be Wild Strikes. Continuing on towards the second Ashes of War, which can be found over here at East Gale North. We are going to take a right, go past the chariot, and then go all the way up towards the south. What you should see is this fella in the distance with a bow. He will shoot some arrows up in the sky. It's easy to avoid by going towards the right immediately. Jump over these fellas, or you can go ahead and take out one of them. Continue towards the left and then take a right. You should see that the castle is locked. The only way around this is by simply going towards the left, jumping up so that you land on top of this root, and then go ahead, take out the enemy, and then take the ladder all the way up. And once you are all the way up here, you should see some enemies straight ahead, and then there will be a beast down below. Take it out, and then you should receive the Ashes of War called Lion's Claw. This is a phenomenal Ashes of War, which does pretty good damage, and you're going to see that later on in the video. Now that we've talked about the Ashes of War, we could then continue on towards Talismans. We want to head over here towards Stormvale Castle, then head towards the Rampart Tower Lost Grace. Continue forward and then drop where I am right here. If you take a look towards the east, you're going to see part of this castle has been destroyed, so if you hop right here, you can then hop on top of the ledge, then go around and then head straight towards the ladder. Note that you will be shot at. That's something to take note of. It's going to be quite annoying, yet you can make it all the way up here if your health is high enough. If not, just take them all out and then pick up the Claw Talisman at the very top. The second talisman can be found over here at Saint's Bridge, specifically at Storm Hill. We want to head towards the west. You should see some subtitles on the bottom there. Someone talking. This is going to be Alexander. We have two options here because, of course, there is a quest with this fella. The only issue is if you take him out early, you will not be able to complete that quest, of course. Yet you will be able to receive a talisman, and this is going to be the Warrior Jar Shard. If you complete the whole entire quest, which does require you to reach the end, specifically Crumbling Farum Azula, although that is somewhat sort of towards the end of the story. And once you are there, you will be able to pick up the upgraded version of this talisman, which is going to be Shard of Alexander. This greatly improves your skill attacks, and I highly recommend it. And of course, if you take him out early, you will be able to pick up this right here, which is the Warrior Jar Shard. Continuing towards the third talisman, this can be found over here towards Altus Plateau. We are going to then take a left from this Lost Grace. This specific talisman can be found towards the northwest. This is going to be right over here at Lux Ruins. You can then go behind the ruins and then locate some stairs, which will then take you down below, and then you should see that there's going to be a boss there. This boss specifically is nothing to like be scared of. Literally, you could go in there and probably use one of the most weakest weapons and take him out. This boss is pretty easy. And then you could just go forward, open up the door straight ahead, and then right here is the chest. You will be able to pick up that Ritual Sword Talisman, and again, this can be found right over here at Altus Plateau, and it does 10% damage. Now, if we head towards the fourth talisman, which is over here at Fort Hyatt West, we can then go towards the northwest, and then we are going to locate the Mistwood Ruins. If by any means you have already completed the Radon questline, you're going to probably notice that this whole area has been annihilated. So you're not going to be able to pick up this specific talisman. So that is a big downer if you've already completed that quest. If you take a look towards the northwest here, you should see that there's going to be a bear right here. And then we will take a left. Do not bother with the sleeping bear. Open up the door and then you should see the chest. Open up the chest and then you will receive this talisman right here, which is going to be the Axe Talisman. And with talismans out of the way, last but not least, we need to talk about armor. What I suggest that you guys do is head over here towards Sage Cave, and then go down below, and then what you should see is a Lost Grace that you can interact with, then take a right, and then continue forward. What I recommend is that you equip the lantern, because when it comes to exploring this cave, it does help when you have that extra light there. As you do continue to explore, there will be some chests, there will be some loot on the ground, and of course there will be some enemies, specifically those skeletons. So you do want to make sure that you strike them once they are on the ground, because if you do not do so, they will resurrect, and that will be quite a pain. Or you can do what I'm doing here and just run past them like it's chicken. There's some more chests here on the right side, and then what you should see right here is a waterfall. Go towards the left, jump over this, I barely made it, go towards the left, hit the wall, there will be an illusionary wall, and then there will be some chests. This chest is going to contain the Raptor armor, and it's great because this does improve your attack damage when you jump. And that's pretty much it, so let's now talk about the build. We want to equip both of the Executioner's Great Axe. There are some choices when it comes to affinity. I personally enjoy heavy, yet what you can do instead is equip Frost/Cold affinity to one of the Great Axes and then leave the other as heavy. The Ashes of War such as Wild Strikes is great with cold, and Lion's Claw inflicts amazing damage with heavy. And so with that being said, when you do use your skill, you benefit from the Warrior Jar Shard, which increases your damage by 10%. Of course, if you use the other shard, which is Shard of Alexander, this will boost your attack by 15%. The Axe Talisman helps with charge attacks by 10%, and then Claw Talisman will of course enhance your jump attacks by 15%. And last but not least, Ritual Sword Talisman helps with 10% damage when your health is all the way up. So with that being said, what I recommend with this build is that you use both of the dual wielding Great Axes and then swap over to one of the Ashes of War and then swap back to dual wielding. This is a pretty fun build once you get the hang of swapping in and out of weapons. I find it pleasing so that I'm not sticking to just one Ashes of War. I'm able to sort of just kind of mess with everything. And there you have it, everyone. I hope you enjoyed the video. If you have, make sure that you give this video a like. And by any means, if you have any questions, leave them down below. I will try to reply back within the first hour or two. If you're new to the channel, definitely subscribe and turn the notifications on by clicking the bell icon and making sure that you're notified for all. And yeah, so with that being said, hope you guys have enjoyed the video. Thank you to everyone that's currently subscribed and is a member, and I'll see you all in the next video.